All right, welcome back. Sully, you with us? You're doing a little quick homework?
I'm a big box score guy. Hey, Christian Laettner did rub off on the Duke team, it turns out. He took them to breakfast, the aura, they carried on the floor. There you go.
I wonder how much of an impact that it had, too. You know, you see there's real live evidence. This is a guy that's won it. He's played in those big moments, and, you know, it's basketball. All right, the NBA. First of all,
I'm worried.
Okay.
I'm worried. I told you I was worried last week. I think the Clippers have been clearly better than them in 2 of the 4 games. They seem younger a lot of the time. And
better talk to those two.
Now it's a 3-game series.
Especially the guy on the left.
Well, he's looking pretty old. And Parker played better the other day, but it's more now about Chris Paul is on a mission. People think he's not a clutch playoff player. He was fabulous. And guess what? And I'm a Pop guy. There's another coach in this series who has won a title and is one of the best coaches in the world in Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
And Doc got their attention before Game 4. And
he got his kid's attention. His kid played great.
His kid, who people laughed at when they traded for him, was probably the reason they won the game.
Yeah, he was fearless. Hey, listen, I want to touch on the Cleveland-Boston series. The Cavs sweep out Boston. That's not news. Kevin Love is injured and is complaining that it was intentional. Did you see the play?
Yeah, look, it was a goofy play where the guy grabbed his arm. If you're watching the games, there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of hard fouls. He didn't try to rip his shoulder out of the socket.
He's not capable. You don't go in there. When he talked about it was intent, there's no maliciousness there. I mean, there's maliciousness. Someday I'll catch up to the language. But there's no malice in there. You're not thinking of it that quickly to say, hey, let's see if I can take this guy's shoulder out of place.
Kevin Love should just shut up, because he's been a soft player this year and the subject of a lot of question. He better hope that they don't play better without him, because I'll tell you one thing, they're going to be a better defensive team if he sits out for 2 weeks.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Sully, just to cruise around the league, the Bulls, I liked Milwaukee. It was a bit, sometimes you just do things that on a hunch, or I shouldn't do that. I picked Milwaukee in that series.
Well, you're an instinctive person. You picked Milwaukee to win the series?
I did. I liked the way that they were playing late in the season, and I thought they were going to ride that through. I ignored Chicago's talent, basically, which was stupid and something that you usually do.
It was kind of like picking against the Yankees because they're injured pitchers. You don't know if Rose is healthy, so that makes it wasn't a dumb pick. Now with Rose healthy, look out Cleveland, because if he's playing at a high level, and Jimmy Butler, by the way, who at midseason I say could be an MVP candidate, some people laughed at me. Now you're talking about a team that can do some damage because they can play defense.
Really good. And how is it that Toronto can't win a single game? I mean, Paul Pierce played great, and it's not just Paul Pierce there, but he picked up his game in the playoffs. He showed up. Maybe he was right about Toronto.
He was right about Toronto. They didn't have the it, and they also just didn't have the defense that Washington was a good defensive team earlier in the year when they played well. Toronto hit the wall, was a 500 team for the last 2/3 of the season, and they were a little banged up, and they're just not tough enough.
They're not.
As long as they're built around that Valanciunas kid at center, they're not going to go far.
All right, Sully, we need to take a break. We're going to come back and wrap it up. Stay with us. Still more to come.